Well, the February jobs report giving the markets a boost. All three major indices gaining at least 3% for all of last week. But aside from the NASDAQ, the Dow and the S&P have not been clinching record highs. Are investors concerned, or was the jobs report the perfect report in terms of inflation expectations? Let's bring in Catherine Rooney-Vera of Bulltick and Gary B. Smith of the Cadena Group. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Catherine, let me begin with you. Was the jobs report the Goldilocks report for the markets?
Well, it's a beautiful thing when you have jobs growth with minimal inflation. So I think the market liked that, and I think the market is looking at both tax reform, lower regulation, and very strong earnings season and saying, you know what, the market and the picture is painting very nicely for 2018.
Right. Wages went up 2.6% in February year over year. That was not it didn't spark the inflation worries out there, Gary, but there's a 35% chance that we get a fourth rate increase by the Fed this year. What do you say about that?
Maybe 34%. How they come up with these percentages is always interesting. I guess it's based on the futures, but I think there may be, but I don't think it's anything to worry about. Yeah. I mean, what are they going to raise? Maybe a quarter point. As I've said quite a few times, I don't think inflation's that much of a concern. I think people's minds are still back in the 70s thinking about inflation. I think we're in a completely different environment now. The economy is more global, if you will. Mm-hmm. There's much more competition in industries because of companies like Amazon. That may be one reason, by the way, that wage growth has been just a little slow. I was in Walmart the other day, and almost half the checkouts were self-automated. Of course, that impacts wage growth. That's the only area I'd like to see improvement. Of course, that's a double-edged sword, as Catherine points out, with, we don't want that too high because then the Fed might raise rates per year. Comment, and then the stock market kind of levels off a little bit.
Yeah, and you want, obviously, consumers who are making more money to spend those higher paychecks. But you were talking about the global stage, and obviously we have the potential for a trade war with these tariffs on aluminum and steel, Catherine. Over the weekend, U.S. trade officials met with their counterparts from Japan and from Europe. These countries want exemptions the way Canada and Mexico have some exemptions. Do you think they're going to get them, or do you think they're going to retaliate? And are you worried?
Yeah, I think the market took relief from the fact that the Trump administration said these are negotiable. So I think the administration is using these wisely as a tactic to get better deals. And it seems to me that is on the table to improve terms for the U.S. with all of their trading partners. We have an indefinite exemption for Canada and Mexico, which is very important for Canada. It's the biggest importer of steel for the U.S., so it's not China, actually. And I think that's going to be important going forward from the perspective of negotiating trade deals, which is apparently what the incentive is here. The markets aren't concerned about a trade war, and quite frankly, I'm not thinking that this is going to be something that takes down the global economy either, in the sense that a trade war is not the most likely scenario, especially if we're talking about negotiating better trade deals.
Yeah, but we're seeing a weird realignment of political affiliations. You have Democratic Massachusetts Senator Gary, Elizabeth Warren, aligning with President Trump, and she's actually... She likes these tariffs, whereas so many Republican lawmakers are saying this is a bad idea. The trade wars never end well. Where do you stand on this? Where do the markets stand on this, do you think, Gary?
Well, look, I mean, just as a more or less a libertarian, I would like no trade barriers whatsoever. If companies want to, quote unquote, dump their products here, I'd say, fantastic. We get lower prices. They get pieces of paper with presidents on them. Now, that's the economist side. Trump is coming at it surely as a populist, as a man of the people. In that case, having tariffs, trade restrictions makes all the sense in the world. People are rooting for him. They want a fair marketplace and all that stuff. And I applaud that because he's doing basically what he said. So I guess it really depends where you come down, what you want Trump to be. Mm-hmm. Do you want him to be an economist, or do you want him to be a populist? He got elected on the latter. That would not be my stand, but I can understand that, and I can understand the Democrats getting behind them because they have generally been, quote unquote, the party of the people.
We'll see who replaces Gary Cohn, America First type of guy or a globalist. Gary and Catherine, thank you so much.